Welcome to Security Token Insight, brought to you by the Security Token Academy. The security token industry is here and will provide a key foundation for the evolving financial internet. The Security Token Academy provides insights about this new era for security token enthusiasts, investors, and issuers. The security token industry is here, and you can get involved. Hi, I'm Amy Wan. Adam Chapnick is on assignment in London. Coming up on today's episode of Security Token Insight, in your security token investing news, we have the latest on Facebook's cryptocurrency that's planned for this summer. We have an expert interview with Alfred Ritter of US Capital Global. Plus, we'll also sit down with the co-founder and CEO of Blockquake, Antonio Brasi, and details on how you can sign up for the Security Token Edge. That and more is coming up on this episode of Security Token Insight. Now it's time for your security token investing news. Facebook is moving forward with its planned cryptocurrency. The company is expected to officially announce in late June. Employees who are working on the crypto project will be able to take their salary in the new currency. Facebook is also planning ATM-like machines where people can buy the currency. Keep it here for the latest updates. In other news, a new STO looks to use security tokens to fund film projects. Ryan Kavanaugh's Proxima Media announced plans for a new STO called ProxyCoin. Investors will receive fractional ownership in film, television, music, and other projects. The Central Wealth Group of Hong Kong recently invested $100 million into the STO. The token will be on the Fusang Exchange, which is one of the first crypto exchanges in Asia to trade security tokens. The Security Token Academy attended Crypto Invest Summit in downtown Los Angeles last month. The event attracts security token and crypto enthusiasts from around the world. The Security Token Academy team was there interviewing some of the biggest names in the security token industry. That's where we met Alfred Ritter. He is the Vice President of US Capital Global. In this expert interview, Alfred sits down with our own Adam Chapnick to discuss investment banks and security tokens. Take a look.
So tell everybody, tell me,
Sure.
What is US Capital and how did it come to be?
Well, it goes back about 20 years, and it actually started off as a equipment leasing company, and it's become a investment bank. And
Wow.
started, as I said, debt, lending money to businesses, growth stage businesses, and then we have an asset management division, which manages funds, like GPLP funds, and also has a wealth management division. And then I'm on the security side and investment banking side, so we have that whole side as well. And that's what we are.
That's what you are.
Right.
So why would a company with that kind of pedigree end up, or I shouldn't say why, but how and why, did you end up at a place like the Crypto Invest Summit?
Well, I asked myself that just before I sat down.
How did any of us arrive here?
But no, actually, what we're really interested in, I mean, listen, I've followed blockchain for a long time, and Bitcoin, and and am a buyer and investor. Right, own some crypto myself. But really, what we're mostly interested is the development of security tokens and how that affects the traditional security industry, and especially in regards to private placements and privately held companies to provide and funds to give liquidity to investors prior to them going public, right? They're waiting 10 years to go public, and you invest in a venture capital fund, hopefully you'll see an exit.
Yeah, before you exit.
Exactly. Exactly.
I know the pain all too well. So that's definitely the promise of the security token, or a major promise of the security token.
Yeah.
So how are you guys involved with security tokens, if at all yet?
Yeah. So we are involved. Our role primarily is as a lead underwriter, as kind of like if you think of an IPO, right? And this is an STO, right?
Yep.
And so we're the lead underwriter. So we'll go in and we'll analyze the companies, the management team, the financials, the valuation, and we'll go through the whole package. We'll put together a whole diligence, report on those companies, and we'll provide that information then to verify it, provide it to investors, and so it gives them kind of, we're a FINRA licensed firm, so it gives them kind of the good housekeeping seal of approval, right? To
Yes.
say that somebody actually went through this. It's not just representation by, a CEO of a company,
Yeah.
and so there's a third party, review of it. So that's what we primarily do, and then we distribute those securities. And we are working on a couple tokenized products right now. One is a fund. It's called CityBlock Capital.
We know
yeah.
CityBlock. Rob Nance,
Rob Nance,
yes,
the
friend
CityBlock
of the
Capital,
show.
and yeah, exactly. So we're raising money for him, and we, we got a listing agreement with them for on SharesPost. So secondary trading is potential, right? I mean, as this it works.
Right.
And then we just launched a new one. That's for a company called Metals House, and it's a $150 million capital raise for it's ostensibly inventory finance for a gold trading firm.
Huh.
So you have invested, and they use that money to buy gold.
Right.
And then every year that increases in terms of the amount of gold that's backing the token.
Right.
And by year 5, it's 100% backed, and they pay a dividend. So they pay a quarterly dividend, annual dividend of 8%, 2% per quarter.
Okay.
So yeah, so it's got income.
Yeah.
It's not, so that's kind of cool.
Nice old-fashioned clip with a new twist.
Exactly. So yeah, I like that. I like income products, especially given where we're at in the cycle.
Yes.
And people like income.
So you guys kind of do an old-fashioned, I hate to say that, but a traditional review of the underpinnings of an offering.
Yeah.
To sort of say the fundamentals are sound.
Yeah.
Do you have someone around that kind of figures out the technical part of an offering, if it's blockchain, if that's working and sound as well?
Yeah. So we'll work through that, and then we'll bring in experts depending on the field, right? So if it was a medical device company, we'll bring in an expert who knows something about medical devices, unless we have that internal capability.
Yeah.
And I think the same is true about digital securities or tokens, and having an audit, we'll review the paperwork. We'll require them to provide us with the documentation related to the smart contract and how that matches up to the actual analog contract that kind of underpins it, and we'll work with auditing firms to do that as well.
Got it. And so what do you think in the future? Are you guys looking to see STOs become a predominant part of your portfolio, or is it just something that if the fundamentals are there and it happens to be offering digitally, then fine, and if not, also fine?
I think we'll continue to do both, and certainly in the short term, in a lot of issuers, we're doing an analog and a digital version. The analog can convert into the digital version because there's some institutional buyers that just aren't going to buy a digital security right now. They're just not ready for it, the custody, all the issues there. So, but in the future, we see more and more. I mean, I equate it to like, I think somebody used this the other day, but I've been using it before them. But you used to make a mixtape, right? It was kind of analog, right?
Yes.
And then it went digital, or electronic, and you have a CD, and you can burn it, right? And now you can send an MP whatever we're at this point to somebody, or a playlist, right? So I see securities going very much the same way, and I will think one day all securities will be digital.
Yeah, actually, that's a great analogy, because if you use that analogy, it's just the song is either good or not, and so you need to like the song. It really kind of doesn't matter if you hear it on the tape or the CD or the MP3.
Marginally. Well, as I say, a good deal is a good deal is a good deal.
Right.
And
that's
so
what
if
I
it's
mean.
not a good deal, then and I don't care how you package it, whether it's digital or it's a paper certificate. That's if it's not a good deal, it's just plain not a good deal.
Amen.
And shouldn't invest in it. And so I see it very much the same, right? And the cool thing is just the liquidity potential, right? As this trading develops, and I call it a potential. It's not a foregone conclusion, right? There's plenty of publicly traded companies on pink sheets and over the counter that don't trade, not a lot of liquidity.
That's
so it's not a guarantee by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah. Now, what you said was interesting, though. Do you about the sort of the dual offering? Do you think that's a model that's a good sort of bridge from here to when we have actual volume?
I think it's a model until the institutional investors feel comfortable putting their money in. So if you're 100% not going institutional, right, and it's all going to be family office, high net worth individuals, and you're going to be selling to that market, then maybe you don't need the paper product as well. But I think it's a stopgap for right now until the institutionals really get on board. And
Yeah,
I think
very,
offering
very smart.
both is a reasonable approach to that, and we've counsel most of our clients to do so, unless it's clear that it's going to just go to high net worth individuals and more individual investors who are interested in buying a token,
Yeah.
right, and are good with that.
So interesting. It makes perfect sense to me, at least. Okay, U.S. capital, the next 6 to 9 months, the remainder of 2019. What can we expect from you guys?
I would expect that we'll have more offerings, right, coming to market. We should be announcing some closings on these
Excited.
deals, right, and raising a couple $100 million hopefully
Fantastic.
for our different issuers, and I think and then those will then be positioned to start trading. Obviously, we're doing. Most of the deals we're doing are Reg D, Reg S, so internationally they could start trading after 40 days. So as long as they're not coming back here. So I would expect that we have relationships with a lot of the different trading platforms, and the tokens that we originate and that we distribute will then start trading in the secondary market.
We have the full interview with Alfred on our website, securitytokenacademy.com. I want to remind viewers that if you have any questions about security tokens, be sure to email us, and we could answer them right here on a future episode of Security Token Insight. The address is insight@securitytokenacademy.com. Be sure to include your name with your question. One more time, the address is insight@securitytokenacademy.com. We have another interview for you today. This one is with the co-founder and CEO of Blockquake, Antonio Brassi. Adam Chapnick caught up with him at CIS to get an update on the company's plan to become a broker-dealer and more. Take a look.
For everybody who hasn't heard of Blockquake,
Yeah.
Why don't we start off with a quick rub-a-dub, 1, 2, 3 about what is Blockquake, why do you exist?
Yeah. So Blockquake, we're rolling out a centralized digital asset exchange on a global scale. So we're opening up end of May, just very globally. We're going to have 7 fiats onboarded immediately. We're using qualified custodians. We have a transfer agent. We were created just out of our own frustrations with the market, particularly in 2017, year end, where just platforms are inefficient, crashing, or they just didn't have a lot of the features that I'm used to. Myself and my team, we're from traditional financial services. We've traded stocks, options, Forex. I'm like, we're accustomed to complex order types, a better speed and efficiency, and just a lot of that was lacking. So that's how Blockquake was born.
Fantastic. So I understand you have something specific involved. We are the Security Token Academy.
Yeah.
You have some perhaps news to share about security tokens and Blockquake.
Yes, so we are actually pursuing our broker-dealer ATS currently.
Very exciting.
And we believe we'll have it in about 6 months. We are, our attorneys are the same attorneys that a number of the other platforms that have their ATS used. So they've got the process down at this point, right? So we're pretty confident. And we're also launching our own loyalty token, probably within the next week or 2.
Oh, wow.
We're doing a Reg S first overseas.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Starting with an S. Okay.
Yeah. There's been significant demand overseas for U.S. projects.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that we have our securities laws that are pretty tight.
Right.
There's just a ton of interest. We were in South Korea last week, and they told us they're looking at our project because, they find us U.S. projects to be more transparent, more regulatory friendly. So there is a huge demand for security token projects globally.
That is fascinating.
Yeah.
So do you think that what a lot of the American companies complain about, which is all of the overbearing, the regulations from the SEC, actually may make them more fundable?
Which is so ironic, Right. Like we complain so much that there's all these barriers and hoops we have to go through, but I mean, the international markets love that. Like, all right, if they can get through with their Reg D, Reg S, whatever it is, they've got to be legit. So, it's a sign of legitimacy to the international markets that want to fund projects here.
Wow, that is hilarious to me. I think it's kind of great.
Yeah.
So, where do you think...
it's like, the Frank Sinatra song from New York, because I'm from New York, right? So, if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
That's right.
Yeah.
If you can make it through the SEC regulations here, you can do it anywhere. I love it.
Yeah.
So, What do you think is going to be the impact of having companies or other assets, I guess, available in securitized tokenizations? How is that going to impact either issuers or maybe international investors?
Yeah, it's going to add massive liquidity to a lot of the private markets, right? Just coming from financial services, I talked to a lot of my old colleagues. They're excited. Some of these OTC companies or other private companies, they can tokenize and get a lot of traders and investors in that way. Debt offering instruments, right? There's a lot of private debt out there.
Yeah.
They can tokenize as well. Stable coins, whether it's gold, silver, silver-backed coins. It's a great way to just add a lot of liquidity to asset classes that aren't naturally liquid.
Yeah, where do you think that's going to have the biggest impact in the investor side? Do you think the liquidity is obviously sort of the holy grail, but it doesn't really exist yet?
Yeah.
So do you think that's going to come from lots of regular people getting involved, or is it going to come from just institutions piling in and boom, there it is?
Yeah, I think definitely institutions first because they're looking for this, but at some point you'll see the retail crowd getting involved too. I think about real estate, like the little person can't really get in on a real estate deal in Manhattan, right? We were actually talking to a blockchain project that's tokenizing real estate in Manhattan a couple months ago, and they're doing it also to obviously institutional money, but they want to give like the normal person a chance to buy into some of these properties and get involved.
That's exciting.
We have the full interview with Antonio on our website, securitytokenacademy.com. Did you know that you can get the latest industry updates in our free weekly newsletter, The Security Token Edge? The newsletter is packed full of insightful information about the security token industry. To subscribe and get your free weekly copy, go to our website, securitytokenacademy.com. We also invite you to check out the digital wrapper on Medium. It's our new behind-the-scenes series with the teams building out the security token industry. These are in-depth interviews covering a wide variety of topics. You can view these when you follow us on Medium. You can find more information on our website, securitytokenacademy.com. In a first-of-its-kind multi-city webinar on the tokenization of commercial real estate, CREST, a project of the Security Token Academy, provided a detailed case study on the tokenization of the St. Regis Aspen Resort. Learn how the webinar explored the disruptive forces that are emerging in commercial real estate or CRE financing. Here's your preview.
Disruption in commercial real estate has been appearing in lots of different ways. Certainly in the office category of commercial real estate, also known as CRE, the appearance of co-working companies such as WeWork is a major new trend. Also, the appearance of technology companies that strive to improve property operating efficiency through prop tech or property technology is another area of CRE disruption. But there's a new type of disruption emerging in the area of CRE financing. It's a way to raise money via a new solution which is compliant with US SEC regulations. It's called tokenization, and it is based on security tokens. This wave is barely just beginning, but examples are starting to emerge, and that's why we're here today as we cover the tokenization of the St. Regis Aspen Resort.
I wanted to help our viewers take a closer look at this iconic hotel. So while I was there, I had the opportunity to meet with the hotel's general manager, Heather Steinhardt. Let's take a look at what she had to say. This is a gorgeous property. Can you tell me a bit about it?
I'd love to. We have 179 guest rooms, 30 suites. This is one of our 3 specialty suites. And then we also have 25 residences, 2 and 3 bedrooms, which our fractional ownership has.
Fantastic. What else should we know about this property?
Well, the rooms and our public spaces were designed by Lauren Rote, and she was wanting to make sure that we're bringing the outside light into the hotel, that it was like a mountainside manor, that it was contemporary yet very, very comfortable, because after you go skiing, you just want to chill and relax.
Yeah.
And so I think she really did a lovely job in portraying those goals overall.
Regarding this specific property, you had the listing at JLL and sold it to Stefan in Elevated Returns. What's the backstory on that?
Yeah, in 2010 we had the property on the market, and we had reached out to a number of offshore investors and had gotten in touch with Optasia. We had been in touch with them on previous transactions before, and we sold the asset to Optasia and Stefan in 2010.
And the $19 million of tokens that were raised, what were those funds used for?
Well, I mean, that was a return of capital to the owner. So effectively, the tokenization is a true sale of ownership into the property. So the current owner decided that the maximum they were willing to give away at that valuation was 18.9%. So that's what we put for sale, and we were happy enough to fill up the entire stack. So the way that it works is that you actually sell the property into an operating partnership. You create REIT shares interest out of the partnership, and you capitalize the REIT through the sale of smart contract. Smart contract is effectively a digital share certificate. So rather than to have the old-fashioned paper share certificate, you have a digital form of it. It's a beautiful instrument because all the securities regulation are actually embedded into the contract itself. And it's cheaper, it's faster to transact, and it offers also the ability to have a global product trading on multiple exchanges.
We got involved with Elevated Returns, first helping Stefan in trying to liquefy in a different format, in a registered format, a traditional listed REIT format, the St. Regis Aspen, and then helped him transition his project to a tokenized solution. Prior to helping Stefan, we've also been very active in the whole idea of creating liquidity around non-traditional liquidity solutions around single asset real estate. And so it was a natural for us to help Elevated Returns and Stefan with their project.
Everything is going to get tokenized.
Yes.
Your identity will be tokenized, your title will be tokenized, your mortgage will be tokenized, your equity will be tokenized. I mean, that is the future when everything is running on this integrated, efficient, immutable blockchain system.
To watch the full webinar, just go to CREST.io to register. Registration is free. All right, that's it for today's episode. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Telegram, and Medium. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page so you don't miss out on any of our videos and expert interviews. I'm Amy Wan. And before we go, a big thank you to our Platinum Corporate member, Merrill Lynch, and all of our Gold Corporate members as well. We invite you to learn more about our corporate members by clicking on our website. For everyone here at Security Token Academy, thank you for watching.
You want to learn more about security tokens from the top leaders in the industry? Be sure to visit our website, securitytokenacademy.com, and click on the Interviews tab so you can stay connected.